Welcome back to the Now Morning Show as we continue our discussions celebrating women for the month of March. Now, my guest this morning is an attorney at law. She's an author. She's a storyteller. She's the founder of the Oratory Foundation, and most recently, she was the recipient of the Hummingbird Gold Medal for Youth Development. Well, Trinidad and Tobago, let's welcome Deborah Jean-Baptiste Samuel.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Hearty good morning to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
And, you know, I just want to start off by saying congratulations. You have done amazing work over your period in youth development.
Thank you very much. I feel very humbled, very honored, and it gives me a lot of encouragement to go, and I'm resolved afresh to continue the work of the Oratory Foundation.
Yes, and I hope that you continue for a very long time. But let's start one time. Now we're talking empowerment of women and girls in leadership roles. So what does an empowered woman or girl look like?
Well, an empowered woman or girl is one who will stand out because discipline is going to feature very strongly in everything that such a person will do or say. So it is more than what an empowered one would look like, but how would one sound? What would one say? How would one think? How will one react? It is a complete response package. And empowerment leadership has to do a lot with discipline, diligence, because without those two, you're lacking something in terms of being empowered, because you have to understand who you are and why you're here. I think that is critical, and it then leads to some sort of devotion for the purpose for which you are here. And so that activates a lot of things that attract attention, yes, so that you will spot one. But how do we inculcate or empower girls to become leaders and women who will make a difference? And it has to do with speaking a language of excellence, I believe, is what I do with my oratory students, because discipline comes with the territory. I mean, these children are writing poetry, performing poetry, but even to do that, poetry requires a discipline. If I say you're rhyming alternate pattern of rhyme or rhyming couplet, it's a discipline, as it's A, B, or A, B, B. So there's discipline in the producing of the poetry, and then they have to learn it and perform it for a deadline. So all of those things stir discipline into their being. And then I am telling them, you are not here to exist. You are here to excel. I'm pouring the excellence into them as a concept. These are words we have to keep, you know, before they become archaic, like excellence and integrity and character, because there'll be a day where people may say, what does that mean? So let's use the vocabulary now and try to foster and plant excellence, and excellence will grow. Expect huge things from people, from women and from girls. Let them know that they're beautiful, that they're here for a purpose, that they have something to deliver, something to contribute, and bring that out when you start doing that. Because inside of every student at the Oratory Foundation, inside of every child everywhere, there's treasure, you know. We just have to help bring it out. I'll tell you quickly, I remember in class I asked the students, I said, give me an animal beginning with the letter P. You know, and hands went up all across the place, you know. So they're shouting animals out, pig, parrot, you know. There's a little one there, no hand is going up at all. And so sometimes I look at the children who never raise their hands. And this one, I said, tell me animal beginning with P. The child says, potong. So I am thrown, you know. I said, I have to get something else out. I said, let me work with this. I said, come, there must be an animal beginning with P inside of you that you can tell me. Come on, dig deep, pull it out. The child looked all around, all in the air, and then looked at me in the eye. And then the child replied, Miss, peacock. I said, there you go. Yeah. Why I say that is because inside the same child that was easy or lazy to say potong, inside that child's brain is peacock. And that stirred in me what I call the peacock principle, pulling out from the child what is there, but you may not see. The child may not even think or know, have that. So that is what brings quality out, that treasure out. Yeah. And so the peacock principle, now I have an award to give to the student who pushes themselves to bring the best out. Because in every child there's treasure, you know. We just have to bring it out. And that's what I've been doing all these years. Teaching poetry and performance, debating and public speaking, talking with triumph. This helps leadership. This helps empowerment because vocabulary is enhanced. You have a child now who can talk with confidence, a child who understands who they are. In oratory class, they do take the rule, they don't say present miss. You know, I call the name and their response is instrument of purpose. And they have to say it in a very convincing way, that I'm convinced that each one is an instrument of purpose. So you ask how empowerment affects and how it shows and how it radiates and manifests itself is by bringing all that is marvelous inside of someone out and making it manifest. Yeah. And that has to do with help from the outside, but most of it is churning from the inside, a recognition. Yeah.
So well, your foundation teaches, you know, those types of empowerment skills to young people. Yes. But what can others do? You know, what can parents do to help bring those skills out in their young women and girls?
Out of their children. Well, their children, most certainly, because the Oratory Foundation started because my mother did that for me. And I tell you, my mother, she's now deceased, but what she taught can never die, because she's the one who took the time. I always tell parents, you do not have time. What you do is you have to make time for these children and see what's in them. So your question, what can the parent do? Make the time. Draw from their children all that is good. Perceive it, discern it. Take time to know that there's something in there that needs to come out, that needs marvelous, that needs to be made manifest, and make the time to draw it out, because that's what my mother did for me, you know. I was writing on a piece of paper, and then she found it and said, no, put it in this notebook. And on a Sunday after church, after Sunday lunch, you will be performing all the poetry you wrote for the week. And that's how I started. So it's somebody has to, a parent, a teacher, has to make time. I don't have time. I'm an attorney, you know. But I find time. I make time for this because I see it is very important. It is critical. It helps so many children get to a place called excellence. Yeah. In their schoolwork, it is reflected. These children get to oratory, they become prefects in their class. They go on, most of them, head girl and so on at their school. And so they are performing, they're earning all sorts of awards and scholarships. You know, I have students, they get the highest mark in literature, in Cape, that's Form 6 I'm at. And I tell them, I said, there's a seat in the university for you somewhere. Find your seat and sit in it, walk in the university, shoulders back, chin up. Find your seat. It's there for you. You know, when you encourage them like that, they realize, hello, this is even possible. And all I'm doing is what my mother told me. I'm sort of repeating some of those things. So I tell them that you're not here to exist. You're here to excel. Let excellence be your signature. Give it your best shot. You know, don't deal with mediocre. You know, always deal with magnificent. Push yourself. Yeah. It's something that comes from inside, and then their eyes spark up and they want to do this. And so I started at age 7, training these children, and now they are young professionals. They've gone to university, and now they're acting. We do Shakespeare on stage. We have Oratory 26 was our last production. It's 26 years I'm doing this, you know. Oh dear, I tell you, I think I was 25 for about 10 years. So it's Oratory 26 is what we did. It's on YouTube because the Naparima Bowl was closed. Yeah. This year I'm hoping that we can take the show back to the stage.
Back on the road.
Back on the road.
I know that the Oratory Foundation uses creative and performing arts as part of getting that message into the young person so that they can be their best selves.
Yes.
Did you anticipate the success of the Oratory Foundation when it started 25 years ago?
Oh, no, not at all. I had no idea. In fact, when I put on the Oratory show, it was just to have one show. And then people started asking, when is the next show? I said, what next show? The show went. They said, no, you have to have a next one. And that is how I am now at Oratory 26. Every year I put one on. So I could not anticipate. And then when I started to train the children, the 17 came in the first class, and then the next class had 31. I said, the class is full. And so I don't advertise, but children come all the time. time sitting in the lobby, I got a WhatsApp for next child to join. So it's something that I am very thankful to God for. I want to declare that openly. I'm very grateful to Almighty God for what He's doing and for all the children who have blossomed and are bearing fruit.
Well, I wish you all the best. I wish that this interview is a bit longer with you, Mrs. Samuels.
Sure.
But what we'll take from you is that leadership is discipline.
Discipline, diligence, and dynamics.
So thank you, Mrs. Samuels, for joining us. And we take a quick break and come back.
Thank you.
Turn the beat down a little bit.